Great afternoon and welcome to the Investment Dominator Q&A session. My name is Jory and I will be your host today. If you have questions for us, please put them in the Q&A section. And then also I put a message in the chat just letting you know that we'll start about 5 minutes past the hour just to allow the maximum amount of individuals to join us on Ring Central. Sometimes Ring Central can be a little tough to get into the first time. So for some of our first time participants, we want to give them a little bit of time to get in. If you need to grab some water, if you just need a moment, you've got about 4 minutes and then we will hop right into the call. But thank you all for being on time. Yes, this session will be recorded, Lydia, thank you for your question. And again, please put the actual questions about Investment Dominator in our Q&A section. That way everyone can have access to it and I can see them because sometimes things get buried in our chat section. And Lydia, I'm going to assume by your question that you can hear me talking. Is that correct? Fantastic. All right, well, welcome all, and we'll be getting started in just a few minutes. Thank you. All right, and that's time. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I try to use it as much as I can. So in good ways, not yelling at people or anything like that, but in good conversation. All right, so I am taking a look here at our questions. We have one from Bridget Keith. It says, hi, can you speak on managing notes? I'm currently using and looking into alternatives. So one of the things that I like to do for our Q&A sessions, I like to actually give you the floor so that we can kind of talk amongst ourselves. Sometimes we can learn a lot from one another. So I'm going to open up your microphone, Bridget, if you want to let us know, and am I saying it correctly? Is it Bridget or Brigitte? Okay, I forget.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm currently using Madison Management, where I have 4 notes, seller financed, and then I understand I can do 3 on Investment Dominator without any type of additional, I guess, software or third party. And I have been, I do actually have 3 notes there. And I'm looking into other alternatives. And I had a meeting with someone from Simple Money. And as I was talking to them, my mind was going towards Investment Dominator. So I really just wanted to know, like what its functionality is, I guess, for managing notes, maybe other than what I've just done for the basics.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so for managing notes, you're using, just to get some understanding, you are currently using another system to manage your notes, and then you know that we have, the option of adding notes. Okay, so there are ways to actually just log those loan payments. Let's take a look at notes together. So
I guess that's what I'm doing. I've just been like logging notes, payments, and
now, is there like a certain process that you're looking at, like how to log the received loan payment or how to link the buyers to the
I
loan?
guess it does it do more than than just logging the payment. Are
It
there additional functions?
it will log the payment, it will link buyers to that loan or
Mhm.
the lease purchase record,
Mhm.
and then there is a way to attach a property to the note. That is really about it, I believe. I'm going to take a quick look at
And
our
then,
user guide just to
yeah, because I
determine.
noticed there's the Actum ACH as well.
Mhm.
And I guess, I don't know. I just assumed it was for people to pay with notes. Um, but I don't know. I guess they could buy properties
You can
straight from your
generate them as
yourself.
well.
Yeah.
So you can do the ACH payment processing, and then you can also, generate them, and it's really like generating the documents. So there are a few functionalities. I have never had to like, repair this section,
Uh-huh.
or I don't go into depth in it because it's more of a coaching section. But we can like look at the user guide if you have like a specific
So I think
function.
basically you answered it because what I'm doing is what you're talking about already, pretty much.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, so you did answer my question, actually, even even though it was kind of a little bit out there. You
No.
understood it and you answered it, so thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for asking that question. It's going to make me dig into it even more to make sure that I can maybe give more information in the future. But I think it's more of
Tracking
a right, a tracking. Well, it's absolutely a tracking
yeah,
thing that we have in there. It's not really too,
service and do all the other stuff.
you've got it. So, but that
Thank
was a great question. Thank you. All right. Looking here, it looks like we've got a quiet bunch today. I don't think I have any other questions. Let's see.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so this is Lydia.
Oh, hi, Lydia. How are
I'm
you?
I'm new, brand new here. So, what I would like to know, I don't even know what to ask, because I don't know anything, right? But I'm very eager to learn, and I would like to know how we export. Um, how do you find leads? Do you find leads in this software, or we find them somewhere else and we import them here?
That is a really good question. We can add leads here, and I'll show you how. So I'll go back to my main page so you have a good idea of how to navigate that. So there are a couple of ways. You can either go through the wizards here to find deals, or you can just go up to land and then go to import. If you're bringing in leads from our data service, then you would select this option here. That's to get data from data service to access and import your new leads. So you would just click there. Then you would select the new criteria, any criteria that you have. And then let's just randomly do something here. So if we do the state of Georgia, select Baldwin County. We're just popping things in here to see what they look like. We're asking for $10,000, market value up to $200,000. And it's going to give you a number down here. However, if you make any changes, so say if I stretch this out, if you notice this doesn't automatically update, so you want to refresh it to see what you come up with. So with the next range, you get 156 estimated records. It should get smaller this way.
So our software is connected at all times with this data. Is that right?
Correct. You have access to this data. However, if you do any advanced filters, when you go to next, it's going to ask you to upgrade to put in a data service
Okay.
lead amount. So it
Mhm.
will give you the three options that are there um, to, depending on how many records you need. If you need more than 2,450 records per month, if you click here, this will get you connected with our sales team, and it'll be like 6 cents per lead to give you that optional. I can actually click there so you can see it.
Okay, so in the beginning, do we have access to any amount of leads for free just because we have the software, or we have to choose one of the three options at any time?
I would definitely ask my land expert. If you have a land expert, I would touch base with them. I know in some cases when you are brought on to Investment Dominator or into Land Profit Generator as a whole, you do receive a certain number of leads. Those credits should show up in your space when you go to import leads. So if you put in those parameters and you find that you have X amount of leads, it would come up and say how many credits, how many lead credits you have. But if you are not seeing that, and you know that if you're not certain if you have leads already offered to you,
I should.
you definitely want to connect with your land expert to help you out with that.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, Investment Dominator is not used only by land profit generator. is common to other programs as well?
Currently, it is only used by Land Profit Generator. I know I'm not entirely certain if Investment Dominator will be marketed for other individuals to use, but currently it is exclusive to Land Profit Generator, the Land Profit Generator system.
That's really good. So the other option when you went to land, I think there was another option, look for leads. Is that connected to a different source of leads?
To look for leads?
Yeah, there was another option when you came, when you showed
Oh,
me the first time, you told
here.
me you can go to land or you can go to home, and there was something, another thing about leads.
Okay. Was it for the other, are you talking about the
Yeah, if you go to
wizard?
home, yeah, it says find deals. Is that
Okay.
connected to the same source or is it a different source?
It is the same source.
Oh, so is that like a shortcut? Okay. Okay,
Yes.
sounds good. Got it. Okay, can I ask another question?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm really excited. I
It
just
looks
joined.
like I got Matthew has his hand up too. So
Oh,
after
okay.
this one, yeah, absolutely.
Good.
I'm excited
So,
for you.
so the next question is, those leads are going to be exported, I assume, um, in a document.
Hmm.
And what company, maybe even um, the other people that are on the call can answer this question. So I understood that once we have the data, we can send it to a mailing house. What company is that, and how do we do that?
Which one? You said which
No, once we
company?
have, yeah, once we have the list, we are sending the list to a company that will send the mail for us. How
Yes,
that,
that would either be whichever one you select, you can either do so if you go in and you're trying to make offers or actually go into your campaigns, the prospect neutral letter, and it's great because we have these little help things. This is going to tell you that the number may be smaller than the amount of properties you import because the neutral letter is generated per owner. So the neutral letter is basically a marketing letter to the individuals that are in your on your prospects list. So you'll have them in a prospect status, and then you would generate the documents from here. And it would either be, you can either print them off yourself, ITI direct templates, REI print mail is another integration that can be added to Investment Dominator. I think it's actually REI is actually already integrated, but if you are paying for the system, then it should show up here, and then you can also click other. So these are some of the ways to generate the template files. And if you're sending them to a mailing house, you would just basically download this zip file, and that would send all of these documents to the mailing house. So these are the other, this is like the general one. So your neutral letter would look like this, and it comes up in Word, and you can play around with this. I'm sorry, this one on my other screen. So you can also edit this because it's in Word. But these fields are for your mailing house. Now, the thing that is unique to ITI had a change at the beginning of the year. So those documents will look a little bit different. As you see, this says mailing date. They ask for different parameters. So we updated Investment Dominator to ensure that the ITI fields were added. So let me show you those really quickly, just so you get an idea of what that's like. ITI asks for PDFs, so it is in PDF format, so you don't have to update anything. And remember, it said mailing date. They asked for date number 3. So, and then also the information that's in your profile. So if you have a signature saved in your profile or generated, all that information will show up down here. This is also why it's important to have your time zone updated in your profile and also on your your company information sections.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that answered your question. There's a lot of information, but there are choices to make there. So if you have additional questions about that, if you are in our
I will
coaching,
wait. I will wait another turn. Yes,
oh,
please. There's
okay, no
someone else.
problem. All righty. Matthew, go ahead and tell us how I can help.
Okay, well, great. Thank you. I jumped on just a little bit late, so
It's okay.
I'm sorry to ask, but what's your name?
My name is Jory.
Dory. Okay, Dory.
Jo-
Thanks so much.
But it's Jory with a J, but you can call me Dory if that's more
Dory.
comfortable for you.
Okay. Sorry, Jory.
That's I'll
I'll
answer.
get it straight. Glad you got a good sense of humor. My bad.
Of course. It's been
Thank you,
happening my
Jory.
entire life. And
All
I
right.
always say it's like Marjorie without the Mar, and then everyone calls me Jury. So
I love it.
go figure.
I love it.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. So I'm trying to get square on. I originally purchased a couple of phone lines and entered them into the company information inside of Investment Dominator.
Mhm.
And then I was convinced to get a third one, just for a little bit more, have a third one. And I understand the websites. In fact, when I'm in Investment Dominator, I'm looking at websites under that tab on the home page. There's a buy site, and then there's an opt-in page, and there's a sell site.
Mhm.
And I have all three of those opened up now. Where I'm a little bit confused is when I'm putting the three phone numbers and, of course, email addresses into the customization tab. It says, of course, company phone, offer phone, and then selling site phone. And
Mhm.
I'm getting a little confused on where those are going to show up and where I'm going to actually, besides putting them inside of Investment Dominator, where else will those numbers be used? Like, I'll give you an example. I know one place when I'm marketing a property, obviously I'll have a phone number and an email on my marketing materials when I'm selling, right?
Right.
But like, which one is the company phone?
So your company phone would be your, I would say, whatever you're buying. Let me just double check that because I don't want to. Your company phone is always the one that you put at the top right here. So this
Correct.
is what shows up on your materials. This is what shows up on your buying site as well. So
So, and I like to think of it, if you will let me. I'm trying to sometimes figure that out. My
sure.
buy site is actually for someone who wants to sell their property to me. In other words, I've sent a neutral letter out, and I'm assuming that phone number, that company, quote unquote company phone number, is at the top. That's going to go in my neutral letter. Is that right?
Yes, your company phone number is going to go in your neutral letter, and let's just test that out to make sure that my what I'm saying is correct because sometimes I like to cross-reference. So I have three different phone numbers here. I have an offer phone, and then I have a selling site phone number, and it's not required to have all three phone numbers.
Right.
And then I've got this faux fax number. None of these are real phone numbers, but but your company phone number is what I know that you were talking about the phone system. Is that right as well?
Yeah, and so I purchased my numbers through, not that it matters, I don't think, but Open Phone is who I've purchased my three numbers from.
Perfect. Okay.
And so, yeah, and I just want to make sure I get them in the right place.
Right. So your first line, and so then that gives you an advantage. You can use your lines however you would like. So your first line would be on our graph is to request an offer. So that first number is to request an offer. Your company number would be for um, the would point to your company phone number. So if they've given you two different phone numbers, both would point to one section. That second number would go for questions about your offer. That third number will go to questions about land for sale.
Okay, so again, I think of my sell site for buyers,
Okay.
right? That landing page, it's called a selling site. It's me selling to
You selling land.
prospective buyers. Okay,
Mhm.
so I've got the sell site down. Like when I was listening to uh, Stephen Young and of course Warren Davis during the Maximizer class,
Mhm.
I think it was Stephen who was saying, "Yeah, I've got a separate cell phone, and that he calls it his money phone. That's my money phone. When that thing rings, I know." that means, and that I think that meant he had a buyer, of course, interested in one of his properties. And would that be considered the offer number? Or is that the selling site phone number?
So the selling site phone number is for this number. I mean, for your selling site. So I'm hoping I'm making things clear. So your selling site is where you're going to have properties for sale. See my
Right.
phone number here? This is my selling site that I went to.
Yes.
It's right there.
Okay, going to show up right there. Okay.
Yes. So your selling site is where you are showing property. This is where you are selling.
Right. And while I'm on that, looking at my sell site landing page looks just like what you're showing here. And and one of the questions is, if I would kind of curious why there's homes in the background and maybe not land. I know I can probably go in and change that if I want, but do you know why they particularly? I don't want to try to reinvent the wheel, but I was just kind of curious why there's homes in the background.
No, that's an excellent question. So this is just talking about property. So if you're actually selling homes, you could put that home, but you do have the option to customize your selling site.
Okay.
So you go under customize here, you go down to selling site settings. Okay. And then you can go down here, you can change your banner. Apparently we don't have any other banners. Fiddlesticks. I thought there were more. Normally there are more choices. So, and that's something that we are working on, is getting additional things here. But you can change it to say buy land at wholesale prices. I am thinking that this was created to be to serve double duty. So we have the land property. Well, houses are on land sometimes. We also sell the option to sell homes in this system as well. So it's just, I guess, marrying the two. However, you can choose another banner. If you see another banner out there that you want, you can actually upload that to your system. So you can just go to choose file and it will pull up that file that's on your device, and then you can add that. You just want to make sure that it has about the same properties as this. So you just want to make sure it's going to tell you here it should be in JPEG, JPG, GIF, or a PNG format.
And then, of course, I think the measurement of that, maybe it has to do with pixels or whatever. Do you know what that is, length by height? Like if I were to go choose something online or load something, I know it has to be, I don't know, 54 by...
What? What is that?
Oh,
Disinfectant.
I think somebody has their...
Oh, where did you pick it up?
I'm going to mute that. Okay, say that one more time for me, Matthew. I'm sorry.
Sure. If I were to go pick something online that I found that I thought was a good image of land, what dimensions does that photo have to be in order for it to work online? I think I could probably go back and look at my notes through the Maximizer class, but it's like 54 by 128 or something like that. Do you know what it is?
Not off the top of my head, but I can look it up. Give me one second here. They probably had notes for that because they always talk about one specific thing, and I get all the questions, so I'm trying to pull it from my memory. Okay, selling site banner, and that does have the dimensions in here, I'm sure. Yep, and there is also a training module for that. So here, I will go ahead and drop this link here, as well as open it. So I'm going to put it in here for everyone in the chat box.
Great, thank you.
So if you want to check that out, you can click it and then put add it as a favorite or copy it and place it somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay, and
Great.
let's see. Okay, so we have that. And then customizing that site banner so you can change it by, let me see the numbers if they are there. Interesting, I don't see numbers. Found it. It should be 207 pixels by 54 pixels.
Okay, great.
So those are your selling, the buying site banners, and I'll go ahead and put that in there as well. It's buying or selling site. The banners are customizable, so you can do that wherever you would like.
Okay.
So let me
And
add
then,
that to the chat.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I've got the cell site phone number. I understand that. I think probably if you were to go to your buy site, so your buyer, and then of course, when I was looking, Jory, there was obviously the gosh, it didn't say landing page. Let me see what it said here real quick. What are the three sites here? It is
Your opt-in page?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So tell me when that is used. When will somebody be sent to my opt-in page?
That is an awesome question. So generally that's on your buying site. When you select contact us, nope, that's not the right one. Where is my opt-in page? That's also something that you can take the link and add it to other
There you
spaces.
go. I think
So this is the opt-in page. That does give your company number. It does not give the selling. I'm trying to see if the the buying site does the company phone number, or it just goes to contact us and it
right.
gives.
That's what I found.
So the opt-in page is something that you can add to other pages for, you can track it for an external web page, or if you're like doing something on Facebook, you can also add it there. So that opt-in page, it should be a place that potential buyers will visit, and they'll put in their email address. And I think it's on your selling site where if they click on your property here, my little fake property, view details. Let's see. I'm interested in this property. It's not doing that either. I need to figure out where. I know it's a separate page. I just know that people normally integrate it into other pages and will use it across the site. Let me see if that's something that I can integrate live so that everyone has that information.
And then I think when I don't know which page it was on. Maybe if you go back to one of the other tabs there. At first you said, oh, it doesn't show like that one. Okay, that one
This
has
one?
a phone number at top. Go to your other one there. Let's see. And the one that didn't have the phone number up in the right-hand corner. Okay, let's try the third one. Where's your third page?
My third page, you mean so the buying site does not have a phone number on
So
it.
that one there. But when you put contact us, when you click on contact us, top right-hand corner, the phone number appears there. See where it says phone and so I guess my question is, which phone number is that one? Is that your company number or is that your cell site number?
This is the buying site.
It's the buying site. Okay, so buy site for sellers. Gotcha.
Let me see, maybe to make sure.
And since it's the buying site, is that your company phone number or is it your offer phone number? Which one?
I'm going to take that back. That's just my company phone number. You're right. Yep. Company
That's
phone
the
number.
company phone number. Okay.
So the only one that has a different phone number is the selling site, and you're making me pay attention to this now. So I love having these calls because it helps me pay attention to little intricate things of Investment Dominator. So we're all getting smarter together.
Yeah, appreciate your patience and your training, and it's trying to get it straight in my brain because I don't want to make the error of entering it in the wrong place and having because some of these, I think when you enter it into an Investment Dominator, obviously it automatically populates on your pages. I think what's a little confusing is in the training, they were constantly talking about buy sites and sell sites. and buy numbers and sell numbers, but there was never one called a company number that I could remember. Maybe I tuned out at that time. So when I'm in here now doing it, it was a little bit confusing to, as far as the three. There's not a company site, if you will. There's always a buy site, sell site, opt-in site, but so I just want to use the numbers properly. And also, like you said, let's say that you're putting something on social media or you're advertising somewhere else. Maybe in print, maybe you're sending, I don't know, I haven't sent blind letters yet, but if you are, it's kind of like which numbers, populate. So I'm just trying to get that straight.
So your opt-in page, if you're marketing something on social media, your opt-in page has your buyer and selling site. We talked about this so much, I'm all turned around too.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
so it's going to have your selling site because you are selling. You want someone to purchase from you. And
Right.
this is where you can get those properties at wholesale prices. So your opt-in page is for your selling. This is a sales aid. This is a marketing page. So it's going to have that selling phone number on it.
Okay.
Okay. And so let's take a look back at the neutral letters as well. We'll go to code campaigns really quickly, or as quickly as it will allow me. Okay, so we're generating a quick prospect neutral letter. So taking a look at this letter, this is a piece of marketing information, but I believe it may just give your company phone number because it's going out to people asking about these specific pieces of their property. So let's see, my 777 number is my company phone number. So it's giving my company phone number, which can be connected when you're putting your phone numbers together. Your company phone number is what goes out on marketing materials.
Gotcha.
So that they are reaching out to your company. That's why it's important for when people are calling in and they're wanting to purchase what you're selling, that phone number is where you want that to go. Does that make sense, or am I muddling things even more? Okay.
That makes sense. So I might ask this question for you.
Sure.
What is the difference between the opt-in page, the opt-in site here, and the sell site? They're both for potential buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between the two landing pages and the two phone numbers?
So if you have someone that wants to, like if you want to embed this on Facebook or Instagram, or well, mostly Facebook, you can do the embed. Or if you have another website that you're using, you can put in that opt-in page.
Okay.
So that is something that, if someone's out there and they're like, oh, let me check this out, and they put in their name and their email address, and then that information is put into Investment Dominator, automatically makes a contact for you. They have your company phone number, so they can they can buy properties at wholesale prices. However, this is a marketing page.
Mm-hmm.
For your other page is your buying site. This is where you're saying where your selling site, I'm so sorry. Your selling site is where you will have your properties that are for sale. You've got these actual properties, they've got some of the information about them. You can edit this in your Investment Dominator to create pictures here. You can do more things with each property if you'd like. You can give more details about it if you'd like. You can write things in and show the property maps do come up for it, which is great. But then you can really do your listings in here as well.
Okay.
So it just has more information. I hope that's helpful. Blah, blah.
Sounds like this page you got in front right here, this opt-in page, if I may make a little funny, bobbing for cash. Sounds like you're fishing a little bit, right? You got this out there. It's not necessarily someone answering a picture or a letter. It is out there on social media for anybody and everybody. It's not necessarily directed towards anybody specifically. Anyway,
Right. Essence is
nutrition.
that's my company name
I love
is
it.
yeah, because I did my page based on Bob Newhart, so it was just fun. So I just did a
Right,
play on
right.
the name and went with it. It was just my little creativity when I was creating my demo account. So
Great, great.
okay.
Okay.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you, Jory.
You're very welcome, Matthew. I hope this has been helpful. And let's see, I've got Natalia. It looks like you have a question. I see your hand up out there.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, hi, Jory. I have a question about mailing. Is it for the price for mailing? Is it the same no matter which state I've been mailing to?
Is it the same? Are you asking about the pricing?
Yes.
I don't have any of the pricing information that's specific to your mailing house. I do not have any, I'm not able to offer it because sometimes they can change. So that's because that's something separate that you would pay for outside of Investment Dominator. I do not have all the details for that. I don't know if anybody uses your mailing house. Maybe someone in here could offer some information on it, but I don't, unfortunately, I do not have that information.
And which mailing house is integrated into Investor Dominator?
REI is integrated, and then ITI is easy to integrate. So both of those can be connected to Investment Dominator. If you have questions about other mailing houses, Zapier would have the most up-to-date information. I believe I have their page, so you can take a look to see what all applications are available. I know that this is. Let's get to the top. And
And
so I'll put that in the chat for you as well.
thank you.
You're welcome.
And another question, when I'm getting the leads from Investor Dominator, when I'm picking the county and state where I want my leads from, when I went through this, I only found that there are only 34 leads available at that county. Does it mean all other leads were being used?
It depends on what parameters you have and what's available in that area. All of our information is pulled from the same sources, other data services. Can you tell me which?
No, it's actually, I just went in the state. There were no parameters other than state and county. And there were only 34 leads that were available in that county. I went to a different county in the same state, and there were 4,000 leads available. Does it mean that whatever is the 34 leads left, does it mean that somebody took or bought those leads?
No, the leads go out, and there are leads for everyone, but it really just depends on what you put in for your leads. So if you selected can you tell me what state and county you selected?
Well, I selected Pennsylvania, Monroe County.
Pennsylvania and Monroe County. Okay, so here I'm looking up Pennsylvania and then Monroe County. And so depending on your market value, it looks like if you have a span between $5,000 and $200,000, there are 34 leads there. But if you expand
Exactly.
it, let me see if there's anything.
Yeah, but you don't want anything that's less than 5,000.
Oh, I didn't know that. There are only 40, so there are not a lot of leads available there, it doesn't look like.
So my question is, why is that? Is that because somebody else took it, right?
It's based on what's available in that county. So if the
I mean,
the
I'm
county
sure
also,
it's more than 40 leads than there. It's a huge county.
but these are the only ones that we have identified through the data system. So I'm not entirely certain why that would be only, I know you could say 40 leads, but really how big I'm not entirely certain how large Monroe County, Pennsylvania is. There are a lot of factors that go into that, and the information comes from the county. So if that is all, that's odd.
So my question is, you guys give 100 or 200 or 2,500 leads to a person. In order for you not to duplicate the same leads, not to give the same leads to somebody else, I guess you guys deducted from your database. That's why 34 leads are left.
No, we do not pull leads for free from Monroe, Pennsylvania specifically. Generally, we use a lot of Florida leads. I know that generally they'll use like Lee County, Florida, because there are more land opportunities there than Monroe County, Pennsylvania. But if you are, I'm not entirely certain how many listings there are in Monroe County, Pennsylvania for under that amount. So you may be looking at something that costs a bit more. They may exceed the amount that we have here. I'm not entirely certain. So it's just based on, we're pulling, so if you go to another data service and use them, it's the same information that's, imported. So unless you want to go through Monroe County, Pennsylvania, the county office, and scrub those lists, then you may get more because they may have something that's that hasn't been put into the digital system yet. I'm not entirely certain how that works on the county side. I do apologize.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. But I promise you, we're not holding leads from you. So.
No, I just want to make sure that the same leads are not being distributed through students.
No.
So the person who owned the parcel would not get multiple letters.
Well, they would get multiple letters because it's more than just land profit generator students that are investing in land. So that's a factor as well. So it really depends on what everyone is doing. So it's just like if you're a realtor or a broker, a real estate broker, there's one house in the city, but there's several real estate brokers that can show that home, unless that person who is selling that piece of property or that home commits to one realtor in particular, it's fair game for any broker or realtor in the area. So everybody can sell it. And it's just like if someone's trying to purchase a home, they can go, a lot of people can come and try to purchase it. It just depends on who gets the bid. So it is a little bit of a competitive business, but there's plenty of land to go around. So most people that use the leads wouldn't be intimidated by it. People are normally, if you have to keep up with it, it is a very involved process. However, it can be very lucrative. You just have to be very strategic about where you are selecting land as well. So it does take some research on that end. If you have a coach, I'm certain your coach could also give you some pointers on, how to pinpoint the best spaces to, look for land.
Got it. Sounds good. Thank you, Jody.
You're very welcome. Thank you for your questions. Okay, let's see. Does anybody else have their hand up before I get started again? Let me check my chats here. Bear with me one moment. Okay. I just talked to Natalia. Okay, and then I have Bridget. It looks like you have the marketing tab. Tell me about that.
Yes, thank you. So this is a good segue into the gentleman that was just on.
Sure.
Once someone goes to your buying site, you have a potential buyer. If they've never been to your website before and you send them to your website, they're going to hit that opt-in page. So that info goes to the marketing tab. So I have maybe 300 records in my marketing tab, but I don't know what to do with them.
Okay.
So stupid.
No, you're fine. So do it.
The ones that will say, I have an interest in, I'd like blah, blah, blah. Those, of course, are responded to immediately. But it's the other ones that are just sitting there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Can you tell me about the ones that are sitting there? Are they?
I guess they're just prospects. Like, what is your routine or your system? Do you move them down a funnel, so to speak? Can you export them from here and then add them to like Follow Up Boss or Klaviyo, like an email provider?
You could like add something like some sort of marketing software through Zapier. I did put the link in the chat for Zapier. It'll tell you like which ones are available. You can,
A lot of that.
right, you can use that. Um, you can import, well, if you have a marketing, this is like a marketing list, which means that these are individuals that have
Into my website.
come to your website. So you can actually export them as well. Um, but I mean, there are a couple of options there. You can tag them. You're going to add a tag to them, or if you've already talked to them, and you can find out like if they are a prospect. I mean, this is someone that you did not have to send a letter to. They're coming
Right.
to you, so you would just manage them from here, like you would land or any
Okay.
other, especially except you're not sending out letters to them. You
Right.
can
Right.
contact them, find out if there's something, see if they're interested, if they really are interested.
Yeah.
If they're a dead lead, you can slap a tag on them. Hey, this is someone playing on the
Yeah.
phone.
I never from that point of view, to like fill up the funnel, like just use it as another source like that. I'm going to have to go back and look at it again through those eyes, which is so silly. I know, but thank you.
No, it's not silly at all. All questions are welcome here. So,
And there's so many moving parts. If I could just speak to the group for a second, to the new people.
sure.
Take your time while you're setting up your phone numbers and your websites and doing your lists and all that. Like, do not rush through that, because you don't want to start mailing and then find out that you rushed through it and you made a mistake. Like this beginning part is really important. The phone numbers messed with my head for so long, and I felt like the offer was a phone number for a seller to call that says, can you accept, like, yes, I accept your offer. That's how I interpreted it in my head, but I could never figure out how to get it on. So you really are only using those two phone numbers, I think, in reality. Your sellers are calling one, your buyers are calling another. But really just like take your time and go through the steps, and just that's it. Really, that's all I wanted to say. Because once you get going, there's a lot moving. So just take your time and get there. There's no rush.
That's awesome. That's great information. That's really good advice. So thank you for sharing that, Bridget. That's awesome. And I hope everybody kind of takes heed to that, because sometimes we can rush and we get all confused, and then next thing you know, you sent out 2,000 leads and you don't have it organized. And the organization is definitely key in this. I know there's a lot of pressure to make your first sale, or depending on what space you are in, but definitely do the best you can to organize your information so that down the line, if you take a break from the business or something like that, and you still have your leads, you know exactly where they went, you know what your statuses mean. If you're not organized, get there and get to someone that can help you to get organized. Find someone you trust in your life to help you out. Get a virtual assistant. There are some options there. So,
Julie, I have a quick question. So first of all, I have a virtual assistant, but I only have a phone number that's local, and one is 1-800.
Okay.
Can I use, the local for like buyers and the other one for sellers, or should I request another local number or another 1-800?
So if you're doing business in a particular space, you can use a toll-free number. I've never heard anything against that. However, you definitely want to have something that shows up on your caller ID as the company, because if you call someone and it comes up unavailable or possible spam, that's what you want to avoid. So having a true area code to where you are is helpful. I know that you can get free lines through like Google Voice and things like that, free phone numbers that you could associate with that 800 number. So you can set that up so it's a seamless process. It'll just ring like any other phone, and then you can set up your messages like you would want. You would just have to monitor that on Google.
And I see here Zapier. What is this for? This link? I think I missed that explanation in the chat.
Oh, yes. Zapier is a function that helps to integrate things into Investment Dominator. So say if you want to use ITI, you can, or any other type of mailhouse service, you can check in with Zapier to see what applications are available. So that link that I provided in the chat, I'll go ahead and click that so you can get a good look at that really quickly. Let me bring that over from here. So there are plenty of things that you can integrate. Some things are not integratable into Investment Dominator, but you can use this to find those apps and check in to see if they are something that would work with Investment Dominator. So there are a number of free applications. The only thing that if you see premium, then that means you would have to get a membership.
Membership.
Right,
And
but it is a free service though.
what is the name of the mailing house that is connected, already integrated with Dominator?
REI is already integrated.
REI. Okay. So there's a need to look for another one, or we should just stay with REI?
You can do either or, whichever one you choose. You can look at the pricing for both of them. There are a couple of articles in our user guide that give information about the mailing houses. It doesn't have price information, but I would encourage you to do the research to find out which mailing house would work best for your business. I know that ITI, because we have everything right here, they're a little bit easier to process. REI, you have to email it over to them. So it just really depends on how you would like to do your mailings. You may not want to use either one. You don't have to.
I just want, I want simple. Which one is the easiest to use?
Here lately, I've noticed that ITI is because it's all integrated and if I had to select one and if I was doing a business. However, you can select whichever one
But do I have to call them, or do I have to create an account with them as well? How do I pay them?
You can select ITI when you're putting together your letters, and once you selected what letters you want to go through, they'll give you the pricing once you have put together your neutral letter campaign. Let me go ahead and just pop the user guide article
Are both of those companies, like if you get mail back to them, like if we get a mail, I'm not sure if the buyer or seller will ever send us a document, but if they do, I know that one of them will send us the mail, will open the mail and send us an email with what's in the mail.
Yes, both of them will do that. And then REI will do that for sure. So that's why I said, I was like, it's really up to you how you would like to proceed with your mailings. REI is grayed out for me because I don't have it, but it is easy to activate. And let me go in here and grab that. Okay. Make sure I have an REI. So here is the step-by-step activation information for REI. There's that. When using REI, it is best to make the purchase of your, to import your leads from the data service if you can, and then just send the mailers out. I would not open it and make any changes, because if you open it, then things can change with the package that you're sending over to them. So you would just download that zip file and send it to them directly. But they will give you, you will get all your information right there. Okay, I see one more question out there. Let's see if I can get Megan. Megan, what you got for me over here?
Hi. I used to know what the little symbol when you go to a website that shows up for the tab. currently my website shows your Investment Dominator little house with the line inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
How do I, what is that called, and how do I have my own image up there for the tab?
So that's the Investment Dominator logo. And because it's the Investment Dominator website, that's what will show up. As far as like your custom domain, yeah, your website domain names, those are just forwarded to Investment Dominator.
Right,
So
right. But you know what I'm talking about when you have a bunch of tabs open.
Mhm.
There's a little image up above.
Favicon. It's called a favicon.
Yeah,
Oh, the fab. Okay,
favicon.
thank you for
Yeah.
that.
And I think
I'm like, I knew what it was called once upon a time, but I don't
yeah.
anymore.
It's okay. Okay. So tell me more about what you were trying to change the favicon.
Yeah, I don't want it to be the Investment Dominator favicon. I want it to be my own personal favicon, and I don't know where to do that. I don't see anywhere to do that at.
Right. That is something that is not able to be changed. It's because it's all in Investment Dominator. That's the only thing that we can do is the custom domains. Because if you notice, even if you open up your domain, it brings you to this page, well, a page that's like this, that has like your 5-digit identification code in it. So that's why we have you do the custom domain, so that you can put your custom domain on your buying and selling site on your marketing information. So like um, my marketing letter looks different from yours. So because I don't have mine set up yet, I don't have custom domains per se just for this one, but we do have one as a sample we show. Um,
Okay.
okay. Alrighty. So the websites, because we're securing them, and the website is, we are powering the website, so that's why it will always say, it'll have your name there, but it will not change the favicon.
Okay. Yeah. On other things like this, I've been able to change it. So you might want to send that up the ladder and make that an editable item.
I have a great idea, which you can do for us, which will be awesome. So there, our team will see it. If you can go to help and then go down to suggest a feature. And
Okay.
that is an awesome place, because that is something that would make your business, make it feel more like yours. So if that's something we can do to make that a customizable action, just go ahead and put that here. And now we have the magical word of favicon. And you can put that there. And then just saying that you would like to have it, and just submit that. And our team would receive that in our feature suggestions.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, so we have run out of time. We've actually gone a little bit over time. I've enjoyed talking to everyone today. It's been a pleasure to have each and every one of you online. Thank you for your awesome questions. If you think of any more, go ahead and create a support ticket if you'd like, or you can always join us here next Thursday as well if you're already logged in. Also, you will see a 6-question survey. It's going to ask about the times that we have these classes, these Q&A sessions, to see if there's something that's a little bit more favorable time-wise for you. So it's just 6 questions. If you could do me the honor of answering those and helping us to determine the best staffing and scheduling needs for our Q&A sessions. So I appreciate you. I'm working to make sure that we can get this uploaded. If you have any questions, always send us an email. We love to hear from you. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.